One down, many more great moments still to come live here on NBCSN as Lewis Taylor is the champion in the middleweight division. Took all of 33 seconds, and he is cashing a very large check.
Well, we need a little blue or red disc from Ant-Man to make that check smaller again, because it's way too big to bring to the bank, right?
Tough to fold that one up and put it in your pocket. Still to come, we have got some great bouts, including the featherweight division taking center stage as we take a look at the lineup. Steven Siler, Lance Palmer, and then in the lightweights it'll be Schultz and Magomedov, Magalhaes and O'Connell, Felipe Lins and Copeland, and wrapping things up with the $1 Million Hunt, it'll be Ray Cooper III taking on Magomed Karamov. But up next, it is the featherweights, as we said, taking center stage. Steven Siler taking on the party, Lance Palmer.
#1 fan. He was my coach growing up in wrestling from the time I started wrestling at 9 years old.
Work it! Come up on top!
I've heard my dad over my coaches my entire life.
Yeah!
Sunday, it's the NFL wild card from the Windy City, where the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles face off against Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears. Football Night in America is at 4 Eastern with kickoff at 4 Sunday. That's only on NBC. Well, the last fight of the night will be the welterweights, and this one will be fantastic. Ray Cooper III, the knockout machine, and what a season it has been for the Hawaiian, who makes the 5,000-mile trek here to New York City. Right now, let's take a look back at Ray Cooper III's season in review. One of the most intriguing stories of the season belongs to 25-year-old welterweight finalist Ray Cooper III. In his first PFL fight, he faced Jake Shields, an accomplished veteran with an impressive resume of wins, including one over Ray Cooper's father 14 years earlier. In that 2004 match, the then 11-year-old Cooper even led his dad to the cage, only to witness how devastated he was by the loss. 14 years later, the younger Cooper got a chance to even the score for the father who trains him. Big right hand, nice takedown. Nice. Wow, that left connects. Jake Shields is in trouble. That is it. That's it right there. Ray Cooper III says aloha.
I knew he was good, hit hard, but he hit even harder than I expected. Now, I fought some of the heaviest hitters, guys like Robbie Lawler, Tyrone Woodley, have taken their punches, Dan Henderson, and, he hit me. He hits as hard as them.
The playoffs set up for a first-round rematch for the two.
I was kind of still a little star-shocked that I was fighting Jake Shields, and now I know what I can do, and I fought him before, and I'm not going to be so hesitant on what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to worry about taking him out.
Oh, he catches it off the top.
Big right hand, that hurt Jake Shields.
That is it. It is all over. Wow. That quick victory led to a rematch with Henderson Ferreira, the last fighter to beat the young Cooper.
Your former opponent, Henderson Ferreira. That's who you get in the next round. How does this fight go down, in your opinion?
I'm going to finish him. We'll see who backs up. We'll see. We can go right now. I don't need a break. I'll wait right in here.
The fight didn't happen right then, but an hour later it did, and it was over quick. And here we go. Big punches coming early from the Hawaiian.
Oh, that one hurt him
hard.
That left one hurt him.
He rocked him hard. That is it. Good night. So in one season, Ray Cooper III was able to dominate the PFL welterweight division while vanquishing the ghosts of his and his dad's past. Well, big swinging, big punching, and we've already seen one knockout tonight as Lewis Taylor is the millionaire. Gentlemen, 33 seconds. That was so impressive.
Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. The athleticism, I mean, just astonishing. I did not expect it to go that way. That is a long, tall German. He's very, very good at what he does, and he made quick work of him.
He said he had something for him, and I guess this was it. He made a tremendous leap forward, overcame the 4-inch reach disadvantage, and just knocked him out high on the temple. Awesome.
Well, Ray Cooper also has had some knockout power in those fists of his. We'll see him coming up later on tonight. He'll be in the last fight of tonight as Ray Cooper III gets his opportunity to be a millionaire. Remember, it's New Year's Eve here in New York City, and everyone making their way, if they haven't already been there, to Times Square, as it is absolutely packed as we take a look at the featherweight playoff bracket, which is the next fight coming up. There you see where it started with the 8 men making their ways. Remember, fighting twice in one night was Siler and Palmer. Siler and Palmer went unbeaten this season to earn the top 2 seeds, and they've actually faced each other before in November of last year, a fight that went Palmer's way by unanimous decision. But both fighters have changed teams since then, and they both agree this is a much different fight this time around. Now, having said that, Palmer's strengths are well known. He's one of the best wrestlers in the game, a former 4-time All-American at Ohio State, a Big Ten champion, NCAA runner-up. His opponents may know what's coming, but that doesn't mean they can stop it.
I'm a wrestler at heart. My strengths as a fighter are my skill set with wrestling, but also my conditioning and my intensity, and that all comes from that wrestling background.
There's a single leg, nice finish. Lance Palmer is on him like a barnacle. You cannot scrape him off.
The way that I won my last 2 fights in the quarters and semis, it was very methodical.
Puts the body triangle on.
So Harrison now strapped with a Buckeye backpack.
And fans and certain people on social media didn't like it because I wrestled the guy and he wasn't able to get out, and I landed strikes on the ground. Then it was a boring fight. When it comes down to it, you got to use what got you there, and wrestling is what got me to this point.
From the cage to his earliest days on the wrestling mat, there's one person who's been Palmer's most vocal supporter, his father, Dwayne.
My dad's always going to be my #1 fan. He was my coach growing up in wrestling from the time I started wrestling at 9 years old. Even in high school, he had a big part of everything.
Work it! Come up on top! There it is!
I've heard my dad over my coaches my entire life. The one fight, he was yelling to throw elbows, and Ray Seppo actually came over to him during the fight and was like, they can't throw elbows during this part. And then he like quieted down. He just wants me to win, and he wants me to do well.
Palmer's other fan club, his wife, and their 2 dogs.
What are you doing, bud? Maximus and Honey Bear. They're like the center of our lives, really, because we don't have kids yet, so that's kind of our kids. So I have a great support system and people around me.
Great, that's it. That's all I got for you, man. Dinner, whatever.
Awesome. Well, the wife's calling. I gotta take this call from the anchor.
And there is Lance's dad, Dwayne, sitting cage side. Lance told us yesterday that his wife, Jessie, has spent the entire week here with him. The first time she's been able to do that, and having her around has helped tremendously in his final preparations. Now, as for Siler, in May, after a few poor results, his wife, Mary, told him, find a new place to train or retire. He went for it, joined Factory X in Colorado, taking him away from his 2 kids in Utah. One last chance at reaching the pinnacle of the sport for himself and for his family. Caroline took a closer look at that dynamic.
I got a wife who's working 2 jobs, real estate and, from home. Also taking care of both my kids by herself. I'm being selfish coming out here to focus more on my training. She has to keep up the house while working the jobs, while taking care of the kids.
With the support of his family, Stephen Siler has been able to pursue his passion with minimal distraction. And this season, that simple life outside the gym has more than paid off inside the cage.
Yes, he's got it! Wow! What a comeback by Super Stevens! Wow!
Now, as he heads into his 51st fight, Siler and his family are finally reaping the rewards of his long and hard-fought career.
I've been doing this for 14 years. Being able to finally hit this point where I'm able to support my family, change their lives, give them everything they want, this has just been the most amazing year of my life.
For Siler, a win in this fight could ultimately mean less hours at the gym and added time in the only place where he feels more like himself, home.
You know, once I win this $1 million, I maybe be a stay-at-home dad after I fight. My best thing is being around my kids. I'm a kid myself, so I just want to be with them. I want to be with my family. That's why I'm sacrificing this whole year being in Colorado away from them all so I could make it work in the future.
There's his wife, Mary, sitting cage side. She is expecting their third child in June. So a big night for the Siler family, a big night for the Palmer family as we take a look at the tail of the tape for this one. In the featherweight division, it's Stephen Siler, 31, 5'10", 145. Both men with a 69-inch reach. You see the slight leg reach advantage going the way of Stephen Siler. Lance Palmer, 30 years of age, 5'6", and 1 pound lighter, so he is set to go. What a great matchup, contrasting styles. For the official introductions, we set it in to Joe Martinez.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Estrella Jalisco, the official beer of the Professional Fighters League, available at all concession stands. It is time for our next bout of the evening. 5 rounds this for the PFL Featherweight Championship of the world. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. He's a wrestler standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in officially 144 and 1/2 pounds in 19 professional bouts. His record, 16 victories and 3 defeats. Here is the number 2 seeded featherweight out of Columbus, Ohio. Here is Lance, the Party Palmer! And across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He's a grappler standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in officially 144 and 3/4 pounds. This veteran holds a professional record of 32 victories, 17 defeats, and 1 draw. He is the number 1 seeded featherweight out of Provo, Utah. Here is Super Stephen Siler! And your referee in charge of the action is Keith Peterson.
Second fight of the night in the featherweight division.
Sir, are you ready? Sir, are you ready? Fight!
And we are underway.
Okay.
Talk about contrasting styles, boss. You've got one guy that is just top-level wrestler. Randy, that's really your world. And you've got Siler, who I don't even know how to describe Stephen Siler. He's crafty. He's, what did someone call him the other day? Affectionately, a cockroach. You can't get rid of him.
That's it.
I think Palmer was the one that called him that. You can't stomp on this guy. He won't go away. He just will not go away. He's very wily. He's a crafty fighter. Even when he's in trouble, he's almost most dangerous. He does some very interesting things.
Lance Palmer maybe paying him the ultimate compliment, so this guy can definitely take a punch to the face because I've hit him before and he just keeps coming back.
Well, Siler came out with his hands low, and I go, he didn't learn from his last fight because he told us yesterday, I got to keep my hands up. But now he's doing it.
He's doing a better job of controlling the distance, staying out there at kicking range. He's the longer lever guy than Palmer is. And he's kind of pick at Palmer, pot shot Palmer, stay away from Palmer.
He also doesn't stand as tall as he normally does. A little bit bent his legs better. It's best for takedown defense.
Yep, got a sprawl. If Palmer shoots, he's got to be able to counter that. He doesn't want to get stuck underneath a guy like Palmer.
Boy, look at the eyes of Lance Palmer on the left side in the black trunks. Steel blue just staring right at Stephen Siler, keeping an eye on his chest, his hips, seeing where he's going to go with this one.
Well, maybe Stephen's going to come back with Magnum. Steel blue, blue steel. Huh? There.
I put it out there. I didn't think you'd go there, but you did.
I still like everything. We're feeling each other out.
This fight has gone considerably longer than the first fight. If you're just joining us, Lewis Taylor getting the win in the middleweight division, 33 seconds in to become the champion and a millionaire.
You know, Siler can't take the bait because Palmer's thrown the inside low kick since
there you go.
But Siler should not do that because he will probably be taken down. So don't
See the red
fall into
on the
that.
inside of the lead leg of Siler from that inside kick.
Look at his
Siler's
left knee.
changed his stance now. He's leading his right now. He's back to orthodox, little kick of his own.
He's doing it back. Gotta watch out with that though.
Palmer added another layer to his training for this camp. He got a nutritionist, and he got his chem panel. See what's going on in his body. Make sure that his body was firing on all cylinders, and make sure he didn't have to cut so much weight for this one. He felt like that was important.
Oh, big overhand left connecting.
Yeah, but it was on the outside because thankfully Siler was moving backwards, so that took the steam out of it.
You talked about Steven Siler, boss. We saw him earlier this year in 2 fights where it looked like he was done, over. Like, get ready and tap him out, or the official will step in and end it. And he comes back and not only survives the round, but gets the win.
You know, and that's also what he's doing. When he's in trouble, he doesn't look at his opponent, looks at the ref, and he tells the ref, I'm okay. Don't stop it, don't stop it. So he's very aware where he is.
A lot of cage presence there, absolutely.
And his record also, when you say 70 losses, but that was all the way in the beginning. He started really picking up fights later in his career.
Yeah, Steven Siler with an impressive veteran record, 32-17-1. A lot of fights for him.
Those inside low kicks he has to watch out for. And I love that what Palmer's doing the whole time.
That got Siler's attention as he rushed forward and then thought better of it.
He did. He got a little irritated, I think. He started to come forward aggressively and maybe recklessly.
And now he's
nice
in Palmer's
takedown by
world.
Palmer. Guillotine attempt here by Siler, but he has no legs around him.
Nope.
There's no anchor there to really secure that neck.
What did you say? If he gets up, he's already in the guards. You see?
90 seconds to go in round 1.
Gotta watch that up kick. Nice job by Siler.
Yeah. So a great takedown from Lance Palmer. Get that win for Siler, though, as he's able to scramble and get to his feet.
What I like is he throws the inside low kick, and the inside low kick, that movement is a lot like an overhand that he also throws. So he throws a few inside low kicks, lets you get used to that, and then suddenly instead of the kick, it's the overhand, and he nailed him twice with it. Mechanically, they look the same. But
There
nice,
it is.
another one. That was a nice straight one.
Very nice. Straight left hand.
A lot of athletes have thought they could take Palmer out of his comfort zone of the wrestling by picking up the pace and making it a high-value, quick-moving fight. But Lance Palmer may have some of the best cardio in the PFL.
He is absolutely uses that as one of his tools to win fights, is his conditioning. That's absolutely a wrestler's mentality.
Siler needs to keep his right hand up because his chin is up, and that overhand, all the time it's coming.
Palmer showing some good footwork there, getting out of that corner. Oh, nice liver kick to the middle. Now Palmer coming forward.
Body kick, nice body kick by Palmer.
Siler showed some serious control there, boss. It looked like he was going to get a little reckless, as Randy pointed out, getting irritated, but he backed off, didn't like his position.
Very smart. 5 rounds. You have time enough. Look at that.
He connects.
He connected.
Thinks he hurt him. He's got to be careful.
5 seconds.
Oh, be careful. He walks into something.
Look at that. Siler making sure the referee knows he's okay, waves it off. And we will go to a second round, to the first round, ending in a flurry. And the capacity crowd at the Hulu Theater, very entertaining, especially final 40 seconds as we listen in.
All right, listen to me. Listen to me and look at me. I like that you're on the perimeter of the cage, okay? One thing I noticed, though, is that when you go forward on him, he's not liking the pressure. What I need, though, out of that pressure is you have to throw a backside 6. And on his kicks, when he kicks,
chase him. He's trying to set a trap for you. Also, good job clearing those legs. When you get him on the ground, let's pin him. Okay? Hold him down.
Hey,
let's get to
round.
it.
You're looking great. Nice and straight.
Breathe. You good?
I got fucked my foot up. You're okay.
That leg's fucked up.
How about this flurry at the end of the rounds, guys? This is called trying to steal the round, I guess, at the end for either fighter.
That left high kick, that slipped in there.
Siler thought he hurt him.
I love the wave off. It's like, just let the ref know, I'm good. So 1 round complete. Remember, it's 5 rounds of championship fighting here in the PFL. This for the featherweight title and $1 million.
You saw Siler's cornering, asking for that backside 6. That's an uppercut. Expecting Palmer to come in change levels and come in, catch him with that fist coming up.
Boss, you agree with everything you heard from either corner?
You know, I do, yes, but it's because they have an open stance. That's one is a southpaw, other one is orthodox, but they can both throw identical punches and strikes. Inside low kicks, straight to the body, uppercuts with the power hand. They're all very effective, but again, both can do it to each other. One with the left, one with the right.
Both these fighters met back in 2017. It was Palmer getting the win by unanimous decision, and both fighters have said, though, that fight is ancient history, completely different fighters from they were just a year and a half ago.
This was odd. He did the same thing when the fight started, right?
He keeps backing up to the barrier like he wants to play the edge of the cage.
Yeah, he gives Palmer the center.
And I'm thinking if you're fighting a wrestler, the last thing I want is my back against the fence.
Exactly, that's why I'm going.
So are you guys suggesting that Steven Siler needs to walk Palmer down?
I like Siler pressing forward and Siler in the middle of the cage better than playing the edge and skirting around the outside of the cage.
Well, that's what his coach told him to do, right? He says every time you put pressure on him, he doesn't like it. Look at that, that's the uppercut he was talking about.
Palmer outlanded Siler in power shots 5-3 in that first round, and he tries that looping left yet again.
Very close round that first round, but I had Palmer ahead with the takedown and the inside kicks and the couple straight left hands that he landed. I thought he did the more effective striking throughout the round than Siler did.
Siler connected only with that kick at the end. It was his biggest move.
Absolutely.
Steven Siler in the green trunks, the #1 seed. Lance Palmer in the black trunks, the #2 seed out of Columbus, Ohio.
Steven Siler. Check.
Yep,
cup
inadvertent.
Check
Good sportsmanship, made sure he was okay.
Happens with opposite stances a lot. Nice.
There's his world.
Left hand to the, and now let's see if he does what his corner asked him to do, which is pin Siler to the mat. Make him work from the bottom and pin him.
Remember, after the takedown in round #1, Steven Siler was able to scramble and get back to his feet. This time, though, his corner wants him down. Keep him down.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Siler's long and wily from down here. You gotta watch him.
Looking for
He will get you into trouble.
I don't want to use that as Kimura as a reversal.
Nice forward pressure by Palmer, using his head in the armpit of Siler to keep him down, keep him in that prostrate position. Siler using the fence, working his way back up. Look for Palmer to try and find a way to put him back on the deck here. Ooh, look at that leg, that inside leg of Siler's is pretty beat up. That lead leg.
Yeah. Push his right shoulder down so he can turn into it.
Palmer's got that hand trapped. It's going to be really hard to turn the way he wants to naturally turn. Oh, swinger. Back fist, and Palmer missed with that.
Yeah, but that's hit him with the back of the head, but that was unnatural. Yeah.
Palmer.
They might have thought it was an elbow.
Has him back up against the fence. Steven Siler looking to the referee, Keith Peterson, to say he hit me in the back of the head, which is illegal in PFL rules. No relief coming there. So this one slowing down here with about 1:10 to go in round #2. This one's scheduled for 5 rounds, a championship bout in the featherweight division.
This is the Palmer grind. This is what he does. Once he gets a hold of you, he is not going to let you go without a fight. A nice job by Siler.
Yep. Anything he can do to avoid the clinch.
Nice takedown. Nice takedown.
Wow.
Nice trip. Stepped across.
You get an idea of what Lance Palmer wants to accomplish here in this fight. Steven Siler doing a great job there. Not going to his back. Can he get up? Now he's going to close guard on him, possibly.
Would be very smart to do. But he might also look for a reversal. That's why he gets the half butterfly. That's going to pull it out.
But you notice Steven Siler, when he gets his position, he never looks panicked.
He's climbing here, trying to get to a triangle choke. If he can clear that arm of Palmer's.
He's looking for an armbar now.
Armbar 2.
Good luck armbar in those arms.
Yeah, but it's locked up. Well, you can do the biceps.
It's almost
crusher.
like a crush, yeah.
He's just locking him up. He immobilizes his complete right arm.
No ground and pound with both his hands tied up.
Yeah, that was nice.
So round 2 ends on the ground. Steven Siler locking up Lance Palmer. some of the action from round
That's
number
the
2.
uppercut. You see, that was his coach was talking about
Absolutely.
it, and he landed it.
Rear side 6 right there, lands right on the chin. Not a lot of power, but still effective. Takedown, nice, flares him out, puts him on his back. There's a second takedown with the trip. Watch this step across. Nice job. That is some high-level wrestling.
Yeah,
right there.
beautiful.
You look great.
She body that Tyson.
How you feeling, okay? Feeling good? Feeling good?
You look good.
Let's go get this shit. Let's do it.
Yeah. Hey, he's fading away. I want you on your toes right now. Let him see you bouncing. Let him see you bouncing.
Stay silent! Stay silent!
What's that all about right there? Let him see you bouncing. That's the psychological game in this sport. You're sending a message across that cage to your opponent. Oh yeah, I'm not tired at all. I got a lot more here. Let's go.
It's worth noting that Steven Siler has not gone 3 rounds all year in the PFL. All of his fights ending in the first or second round. So we'll see if Lance Palmer drags him into the deep cardio waters of the 3rd round. And he starts off as a slip, and Siler immediately attacks the neck.
Nice job by Palmer. Fight those hands, get his neck out of there.
Off. Yeah, but you know he's been training with the alpha male guys that the guillotines is their forte, right? Nobody does it better than that group, so to catch him with the guillotine is going to be very hard. But now he's training at Joe.
Yeah, he's with Extreme Couture, and
pretty decent
I
outfit.
don't know if we have an alpha male guillotine in there, but you know,
he's bringing it.
It carries over.
Oh.
Both guys throwing the kicks.
Right kick, left hook. Normally you do that with a low kick. I never seen that with a high kick. That's awesome.
Steven Siler seemed to be a little more aggressive here to start round number 3.
Absolutely pressuring. I think he realizes he's down 2 rounds here.
Is that how you see it too, boss? Down 2 rounds for
I
Siler?
think so, yeah.
2 takedowns in the 2nd round and controlled where the fight was going to happen. It was maybe not as exciting that 2nd round with Palmer, but it's definitely effective. It's how he wins fights.
Trying to go for the guillotine again, but he doesn't have...
No legs. It's tough to do a guillotine with those legs. Use it as a sweep, maybe.
Immediately they jump to the opposite side, and then the guillotine is gone. Actually, a simple crossface now from Palmer on Siler. Can't let him break that grip. Just with the left hand, push the chin down. Toward the cage.
Steven Siler on his back in the green trunks. Lance Palmer going to work. By all accounts, my experts to my right have it Palmer 2 rounds to none. Now he's going to go to work on the rib cage.
Yeah, and I would do that. If you can do it with that power, you can do it with every power you have. So load him up and do it as hard as you can. Why not?
Bring it way up and launch that thing.
Oh.
Gotta be careful. Don't give up his back.
And that's
Palmer's had a couple of submissions this year in the regular season.
Yep. He is super good on the back of an opponent.
He's a little high here, guys. Can Siler escape out the back door here and minimize the damage?
Siler's as crafty as they come. I'm sure he's got some counters for this situation, but it's getting deeper and it's getting worse by the second.
He's stopping him with his other hand. You can't tell from here.
It looks like Siler has one of Palmer's hands trapped underneath him, and that's making it difficult to choke him with one arm.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Well, there is a way. Peterson's trying to get a closer look as well.
There, stretches him out a little bit. You saw Palmer use his legs to stretch him out a little bit.
Yeah, he's too high for that right now.
Steven Siler has not been submitted, guys, since 2011, so it's going to take a lot.
Palmer is very high here. He's got both hooks in. He's got good anchors, but look how high his hips are. His hips are. It's impossible to apply a rear naked choke from that.
Yeah.
He's got to slide his hips back or transition to the arm.
He's going to pop
the
out.
fence is in the way.
Yep.
Palmer holding on to that right arm of Siler's.
Kayla Harrison armbar, how she won the
the gold medal right
that's
there.
what she can do right now.
Palmer's going to have to scramble here. Nice job. Siler did a nice job of coming out the back door. Palmer recognized where he was at, used that wrestling, that cat-like wrestling, and scrambled right back up out of there.
Now Steven Siler's coming forward. Nice exchange there.
Siler needs to keep his hands up. Needs to watch out for that overhand left.
Oh. Yeah, you knew where that was going as soon as that leg came forward.
Double leg, ducked out the far side, turned around the corner there, and put Siler back on his back. But we're seeing the pressure from Siler now, and that's different than he fought in the first 2 rounds, certainly. but that's allowing Palmer to get in deep off of that pressure and achieve these takedowns.
Under a minute to go here in round number 3, scheduled for 5 for the featherweight world title between Steven Siler in the green trunks and Lance Palmer. Palmer has done what he does best, get it to the ground, grind it out, scoring points. Steven Siler has got to find a way to get a little more explosive, guys, and start racking up some points and winning some rounds. $1 million to the winner here at the conclusion of the inaugural PFL season.
Guard is constantly high. He wants to keep him close on him so he can't load up with his strikes. Very smart. Plus, it's easier to fish for submissions. There we go, Goga Plata. Is he really trying?
Omoplata.
Look at this hammer fist coming from Lance Palmer as he postures up and a big shot to the midsection. So the third round is now complete. Steven Siler again on his back to end the round, and he's going to have to find a way to mount some offense.
What I'm saying to you, breathe. Look at me. Look at me. I want you back on the perimeter of the cage, but I need you to be offensive. You hear me? Yeah. I want you back like we originally planned, but I want you to be offensive, not waiting for him. Okay? You hear me? Look at me. We knew the first 3 rounds would be like that.
And this was an opening for him. Siler went for it, guys, on the slip by Palmer. And Palmer somehow was able to reverse this thing and get himself the advantage.
Just kind of flung him off. Here's the level change. Started with a high crotch, changed to the double, turned the corner, and followed through. That was the key. Kept his feet moving and drove through Siler. Again, Siler pressuring, moving forward. Catches the kick. Double leg, ducks out the far side, turns the corner. Beautiful wrestling.
Wow, so smooth.
So we head to the 4th round in this one for the featherweight title with $1 million and the belt on the line.
Fight.
And I'm assuming you guys are going to give that last round to Lance Palmer as well.
Again, I have a 10-9 round for Palmer. He had 2 takedowns in that round and really kind of controlled where the fight happened. Siler did some nice things. I think Palmer has to start to recognize that he's up by 3 rounds and not get careless here, especially in these takedowns. Get reckless and fall into something.
Boss, we've talked about this before. Steven Siler is the most dangerous when he's either losing, close to getting choked out, or seemingly out of the whole fight completely.
That's it. Yep. You don't want to push an animal in the corner. That's what they say, right? That applies exactly to Steven Siler.
Palmer is outlanding Siler right now, 44-34 in non-power strikes and 9-4 in power strikes.
Both these guys are going to be walking a little funny tomorrow.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Look at that left quad area of Steven Siler.
Yep. Raspberry red right there. Palmer's got a couple too.
I want to remind you, coming up, we have still 4 more huge fights to go. Next fight will be Natan Schultz taking on Rashid Magomedov. That will be for the lightweight title, and again, $1 million. And you'll see Kayla Harrison, the 2-time Olympic gold medalist in judo, looking to get her 3rd victory in her young career, taking on Moriel Charneski of Wisconsin by way of Austin, Texas.
I like what Palmer is doing, touching the leg the whole time. Because
he needs to use those head fakes. He's been taking Siler down in every round.
But
use those head fakes.
If he can do that, as Siler thinks it's a takedown, then he can land also the left uppercut.
Yes,
yeah,
his
I
hand.
love that. Yeah.
Absolutely great setup. Especially as the course of this fight has unwound and he's gotten 5 takedowns now. Give that little head fake and a half shot and then come up with a hand or come over with a hand.
Yeah, TJ Dillashaw is doing that a lot as well.
Guys, you talk about the experience of these 2 fighters. They've been through the PFL season. They've been through the quarterfinals and semifinals, which is fighting twice in one night. Steven Siler, though, 50 professional fights to Lance Palmer's 19. So he has the advantage as far as experience, but this is when you get into the deep water, the championship rounds, where you're going to find out. And Lance Palmer, as you know, Randy, has been in some very heavy cardio wrestling matches as a 4-time All-American at Ohio State.
Absolutely. But none of these guys have fought 5 rounds this season, so all of them are in the championship territory tonight with 5-round fights.
Boss, you've got to think if you're Palmer's corner, this is exactly going the way they'd like it to.
It's perfect. You know, what I would do is what he did in round number 2, I believe, when he started throwing the knees to the body. He just should start attacking. Score more points. You know, he's controlling.
I like him a lot better here in the half guard. This is a much more difficult position for Siler to find a way to get him out of position, to catch him in a submission, to catch his neck, to catch his arm. That half guard's a beautiful place to be. He can sit on that leg, control Siler's head, keep pushing him back down and keep him on his back. But there's not a lot of submissions you can do from the half guard on the bottom.
Yeah, it was one of your favorite positions as well,
I love to be there.
Yep.
Gave me that leg to hang on to and to control my opponent's hips. Find ways to trap him and punch him and punish him.
So Randy, if you're in the corner of Steven Siler, then play devil's advocate. What can he do? What should he be doing right now?
He's got to create scrambles here, use his feet, push Palmer away, make Palmer struggle to stay on top of him. And in that scramble, he'll find his position, his way to get him out of position to either get back up to his feet or catch him in something.
Heavy hands coming down from Lance Palmer.
Seat belt. Palmer's got that bottom arm trapped. It's going to be hard for Siler to protect his face right now.
Oof. Big flurry of punches. Steven Siler has got to defend himself intelligently.
Looking for the Kimura.
Nice.
Big shot.
Again, he's got that seat belt locked in. Now he's going to the. He might have.
He can run. He can simply roll on his back in order to defend that. And he knows his positional awareness is really great.
That far wrist ride makes it much more difficult for him to roll to his back.
That's true. Smothering him.
Steven Siler now in that survival mode, trying to get through these final 15 seconds to get to that 5th round. Back to his feet. And he is going to need a huge 5th round if he does in fact make it to it.
And this is the Palmer grind right here. This is textbook Palmer grind.
So after a 33-second opening fight, we will go to a 5th and final round to determine who is going to be the featherweight champion in the PFL.
Hey, listen to me. I need you to keep an eye on the anti-wrestling strikes. He's looking for stuff up the middle. He's looking for uppercuts.
Cover his eyes like that. Don't do it again, all right?
I need 5 more minutes out of you, okay? I need 5 minutes out of you. Good volume. Keep backing him up. When you're there, when you're ready, when you draw it out, put him on his ass, and let's go get this belt. Hey, I believe in you, brother. I believe in you. Let's go get this belt.
Look at this one more time, guys. Inside leg kicks, we've talked about it. I mean, that's the epitome of tenderizing. And look at that combo with the takedown.
Underneath the uppercut. Beautifully timed.
Yep. Siler just missed with that 6 that his corner's been trying to get the throw. This is beautiful wrist ride. He's got that seat belt. Pull that bottom wrist in. It makes it really hard to protect your head. You're sitting on that leg. You can just pound away with that free hand. It's 5 takedowns for Lance Palmer in 4 rounds. I have him 10-9 in that 4th round. We're in the final round now. I think we're going to see a little desperation and some wide openness coming out of Siler in this round.
He's going to have to let the hands fly.
Yep.
This is the 5th and final round with the belt and the $1 million on the line.
There's the shot. Nice scramble. Siler did a nice job of sprawling. Palmer wasn't in deep enough to finish and really turn the corner.
Nice job again by Siler.
Oh, Siler now going on the offensive here. And this is what Lance Palmer's corner was talking about.
Control the head. Control the head. Hey, if he drops that double, you go prime ball. Control the head. Siler.
Lance Palmer has had at least 1 takedown in every round. He got 2 in round 2 and 2 in round 3. He has 6 total takedowns and no takedowns for Steven Siler.
2 attempts here in the 5th round by Palmer, both unsuccessful. Siler doing a nice job of scrambling, sprawling hard, really not allowing Palmer to get in deep enough to finish. And we're seeing a little more desperation and aggression coming out of Siler here, letting his hands go more. willing to step into that range of exchanges and try to deliver something that's going to hurt Palmer.
Boss, is Lance Palmer doing the NFL version of the prevent defense right now with 3:30 to go?
He should. I mean, he's playing a very smart game. He did it before as well, you know, and it would be stupid fighting for $1 million.
There's the nice corner turn again. Double leg in deep, captures the hips to Siler, and then turns the corner. Really tough when a guy's in on your legs to stay with him and change directions like that.
Lance Palmer now just 3 minutes and 10 seconds away from the $1 million payout and the belt. And guys, it was interesting talking to the fighters this week. They all talked about the belt. They want the belt. They didn't shy away from the $1 million, but they all talked about, I want that championship belt.
Madoff's comment about, well, the belt will still be here in 10 years. The money will be gone. I thought that was a very, very interesting comment.
Yeah, but so if you can pay your house off, that's kind of nice too. Right?
The house will be around for 10 years.
For the next 20 years.
Lance Palmer already talking about buying a new Lamborghini if he wins, and then he'll invest the rest. I don't know if there'll be much left over of the Lamborghini he wants.
I think he'll change his mind on that.
Yeah, that would not be a smart investment, I think.
Depreciating assets are never a good thing to put your money into.
Worldly possessions.
2 minutes to go and 15 seconds for the featherweight belt and $1 million as Steven Siler.
I think he's got, what has he got? He's got a weird kind of, he's got a shin on his neck. He's trying to find a way to.
Oh, wow. His leg is all.
Tell you what, if I tried to wrap my knees up like that, there would be kneecaps skipping across that mat right now.
That's not going to happen. Your hip is going to dislocate, Randy.
Right now, the #1 seed, Steven Siler, he needs something amazing here in the final 138 of this fight.
He needs to start working extremely hard now, just taking risks.
And that high guard game,
maybe
put him up into mission control. I'm not sure what Siler's complaining about, but he's definitely talking to the official.
Not happy about something.
I didn't see it.
Boy, Lance Palmer is just chopping wood.
Again, looking for that wrist ride.
Yep.
There's the wrist ride from the guard this time.
1 minute to go.
Now he's trying to step the half guard. There's the half guard. And this is a very, very strong position for Lance Palmer. Maybe that's what he was complaining about. Looks like Palmer's pushing his chin away. Oh. Pushing his chin away is not, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not illegal.
It's a good thing.
You're not poking him in the eye or fish hooking him.
Yeah.
Those of you that don't know what a fish hook is, it's sliding a finger into a nose or a mouth and stretching the cheek.
Come on, you guys have never done that.
Catch your fish.
This is
it.
Very, very tough. Last 15 seconds of the fight. Palmer in very strong position, and Siler unable to get out of this.
And it looks like there will be a party in New York City, and Lance will be leading it.
Great sportsmanship by both guys.
It's about, I guess, what we expected. I mean, Lance Palmer gets his grips on you, gets you to the ground. He is going to grind you out.
Yep, that is textbook Lance Palmer. That's been his fighting style all season and every other fight I've seen him in. And he executed it perfectly, and Siler did not have the answer.
7 total takedowns for Lance Palmer, 132 power punches landed. As Steven Siler's wife and children look on.
Yeah, Siler said.
How about this, guys? The takedown, certainly his bread and butter. Look at that. I mean, and then he just smothered it.
Yeah, it's wrestling. It's so fluid, so beautiful.
Steven Siler just unable to get that scramble that he talked about, staying off the mat, scrambling out of the clinch. And Lance Palmer did a great job with his father, Dwayne, looking on, a little bit fired up. So at the end of 5 rounds of fighting, it is Steven Siler, Lance Palmer. We will have the official decision when we return to New York City live on NBCSN. Tonight's PFL Championship telecast is being broadcast with limited commercial interruption. Brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Less than 4 hours away from the ball dropping live from New York City's Times Square on a very cold and wet night, completely dry inside the Hulu Theater here at Madison Square Garden at the end of the second fight of the night in the featherweight division. Guys, you look to the bottom there, and that story, Randy Boss tells it all. The 7 takedowns going the way of the former Buckeye, Lance Palmer.
30 leg strikes to 12. 17 of the arm strikes landed by Palmer and 15 by Siler.
So it's time to hand out another belt and another $1 million check. The decision is in. For that, we send it in to Joe Martinez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of action inside the PFL cage, we go to the judges' scorecards. And here are the totals: 50-43, 50-45, and 49-46. All 3 for your winner by unanimous decision, the new millionaire and new PFL Featherweight Champion of the World, Lance the Party Palmer!
So Lance Palmer gets the victory by unanimous decision over the #1 seed Steven Siler as they go all 5 rounds. As we now set it inside the cage, Caroline Pierce with the newest millionaire here in New York City.
Congratulations, Lance Palmer. $1 million check sponsored by Geico is being presented to you right now by our PFL CEO, Peter Murray. If you'd like to bring the check in now, Peter. There it is, $1 million. Lance, you've got it in your hands. Just put into words what this means to you. I can see you're very emotional.
It's not really just this season or the past couple years or just training MMA. It's my entire life of competing going into this. So I don't think $1 million could repay all the hard work I put in, but it's a damn good start.
It is indeed. Look, we know you said you're going to make one flash purchase with this money before you're sensible with the rest of it. What was that?
It was going to be a car, but my wife would be pissed, so I'm not going to do it.
So no Lamborghini then. Look, your wife Jess is behind you, your mum, dad. You say you always hear your dad Dwayne louder than anybody else. Was that the case tonight? And just how much do these people mean to you and the support and the emotion here?
Yeah, I thought he was in my damn corner because I kept hearing him over my cornerman. So that's how it's always been in wrestling. I heard him in the entire arena, 20,000 people over everyone else. So it just shows that he cares and he's always in my corner, win or lose. So whether I leave with the belt or not tonight, I know they're going to be there tomorrow morning. That's all that matters.
Great respect between yourself and Steven Siler. I know that you knew it would be difficult to put him away. You wanted the finish, but did the fight play out as you'd hoped?
Yeah, we know he's a tough dude. He's had a lot of fights that he's gotten the worst of in the first part of the fight, and then he'd come back and get the win. So I knew even with 2 minutes left in the 5th round, he's still able to get a finish. So he's a guy that's super dangerous, and that's why I respect him. You know, whatever the odds are and whatever people say, that none of that matters. He came into this, you know, winning all 4 fights going into the finals, and I had to give him that respect like I did before I fought him last time.
Okay, well, it went your way again this time. You are $1 million winner. You're the PFL champion. Lance Palmer, congratulations. Back to you, Todd.
Lance Palmer very subdued, and Randy, you're right. He thought twice about that Lamborghini purchase. He didn't want to get his wife mad at him after all she's done. And you know, he did it the same way throughout the year. He didn't change anything, guys. He stuck with what got him here through all the wrestling, 4-time All-American, and he just stuck with it. It was impressive.
Never change a winning combination. He's winning with it. Once he starts losing, that's when you fix it.
If it ain't broke, why fix it? It's textbook Lance Palmer. This is his style. This is what brought him to this championship fight right here, was fighting just like he did tonight.
Something's going to happen.
I have no idea what they're doing.
No, and I have to
throw a hand grenade.
It's like Columbus earthquake. Having a lot of fun in there, and why not? Lance Palmer is the featherweight champion of the world and a winner of $1 million. Congratulations to him as he goes 5 full rounds against the #1 seed, Steven Siler, to get it done.
Nice inside low kick there.